Okay, when we're making section views, it's important to know things like this when you have this kind of drawing, that there's a center line right here. And a center line usually means there's a hole or something round. And these are also indicated by these diameters right here. So that's important to know. So that this out to here, that from here down to here is a diameter of 0.5. This right here is a diameter of zero point 0.7. Or I mean, not 0.5. It's 5.5 is the diameter. The diameter here is 7. The diameter out to this little thing right here is 10.5, and this diameter is 12. So this is 12 inches all the way across. So it's a big wheel, one big, 1 inch or 1 foot wheel, 12 inches across. So this comes down here, and there's an indentation that goes in 0.5 there. When you see that part right there, that comes in this way. But there's also this right here, which indicates that there's a hole. It's a 5.5 hole through there, and this comes down here. So this area here is evacuated, and it is 7 inches from there to from across that right there. So there's like a part that raises up. So so we're gonna get started here. I'm gonna start a new drawing, and we'll get going from here. And I'm gonna start a new sketch and view normal to that sketch. So I'm gonna try to go in here and do this where I make this shape. So I know that this comes down here and goes like that, comes down to a hole that goes this way, then back up to that part right there and over to here and up and around and back over here, and then back up to the outside where it's solid. So those will be, I'm going to do that. I'm going to draw that little shape right in there and revolve it around a center line. So if you have to watch this first and then go back and watch it again, that's okay. All right, so I'm going to start by doing a quick sketch of that right there. So I'm going to start with drawing this that comes down like this. This goes in a little ways and then comes down to here and goes out like this, comes up like this. So this is basically the shape that it was. The dimensions are probably way off. That's okay. So I'm going to horizontally constrain that one, and I think these are already horizontally constrained. Those are. I'll do a vertical constraint and say that these are vertically constrained there. So I'm just trying to get those all right. And then the other thing I'm going to do is I'm vertically constrain this point right here to the origin point. So see, that turns black, so it's constrained to it. Now the dimensions of it are probably not right, so I'll start by doing the outside one first. Oh, before I do that, since I'm going to revolve it, I need to revolve it around a center line. So I'm going to go here, click a midpoint line, and go for my origin point. And I like to do the midpoint line because it attaches it to the centered on that, and I can find it easily later on. But I also want to click construction and change this to a construction. Oops, I want to click this line and then change it to a construction line, so it doesn't get used later on, and it's not an entity that needs to be dimensioned or anything. Alright, so I'm not finishing that sketch. Now I'm moving on to dimensioning things. I'm going to dimension from here out to here. I drew it at only 3, but it's supposed to be a diameter of 12, which means from the center line right there out to there is a radius. So I'm going to do 12 divided by 2. Now, you can do the math in your head. You're probably good. Wait, oops. I did 12 divided by 6. It's 12 divided by 2. I was going to say you can do the math in your head and get the right thing, but, if this will do the math for you, you could do that too. So this one's easy because it's 10.5 divided by 2. So that tells us what that is. It looks like I want to horizontally constrain this one and this one, so that gets that line there too. Dimension this one from here down to here. That was supposed to be 7, so we'll do the diameter is 7. So 7 divided by 2 is the radius of that one. This is 5. The diameter is 5.5, so we'll do 5.5 divided by 2. There. Now we'll start looking at the horizontal dimensions here, and we'll do a dimension that goes from, so this is constrained to that, so I can put a dimension on from this line right here is 0.5. This one from here to here was 0.75. Let's see, this depth right here from here to here was 2.5. And then the overall right here was 5 inches. Alright, so that's what that should look like when you get done here, is everything's constrained, and do that now. If you have to pause the video here to make this look that way. But you're almost done. It's the great part about revolving things. We could get crazy and put our fillets in here, but sometimes it messes things up as far as changing numbers and stuff goes. So we'll add the fillets after we've revolved it. So I'm going to finish that sketch. I'm going to go up here to click revolve, and I'll click revolve. It's going to say pick a solid. I'm going to pick the thing we just drew, revolve it around the axis that we drew here a minute ago, and then check that, and you'll see that it's created this part, this 12-inch thing. Now that what we missed was those fillets right there, so we'll pick a fillet, change your radius to 0.25, and click that and that, so it adds those fillets in there where they belong. Okay, so now the part is done. That's what it should look like here. So I'm going to right click on it, click create a drawing. Now I'm going to click, since it's in inches and I like the NCB, I'm going to do NCB inch there. If you don't have that, click this where it says show Onshape drawing templates and go here and click the NCB inch DWT to do that. Alright, and I'm going with no views because I want to place the views the way I want to in this case, because I don't necessarily need all the views. So it's going to try to tell me that it's going to do this front view like that, but I don't want that. I'm going to go ahead and click left right here. So I'll click left. I'm going to place this view right about here, and it puts that in there. So that's what looking at the front of it looks like. Alright, now it's going to try to do this thing right here where it wants me to do this, and if I place it there and then right click on it, hit the escape. Don't do this part right here. Alright, but I'll show the hidden lines, and when I show the hidden lines you can see what's going on here, and that looks like the original drawing that we had right here. Right, so that's what's going on there, and that's part of the confusion, so you don't want to do that. So you want to show a section view for this. So we're going to delete this view. Alright, so we're going to delete that view, and we're going to go up here to this button, and this is the section button. And when I click section, I'm going to click vertical because I want to go through the middle here. So I'm going to click that. So this line is like the line you cut through. The arrows are showing you the direction that you would see things in. So if you were looking at it and the arrows are pointing the direction you're looking, that's what you would see. So I'm going to put this one right about here. And that's my section view that I have for the part. So as if I cut right down here and we're looking at it going into this direction from here in, right? This is what it would look like. Now, those little things right there, those are your tangent lines, so I'm going to right click and hide those tangent lines. I don't want to see them, and you like to start by clicking like this right here to put a center line through there. Alright, now, there's a few other things that are kind of bizarre about this one is these lines right out here would create hidden lines in this view. And so if I went over here to this view, right click and click show hidden lines, it's going to create all those lines, and it actually creates a little more confusion for a part like this with all the circles. So I'm going to right click. I'm actually going to turn those off on this view, and we'll go here, we'll go to project views, and we'll project from here over. We'll add another view, so this projects to the other side where those are, and you see now that it creates those lines. There's no tangent lines on it or anything like that, but it's the other view to the other side, which is what we wanted on here. So now we can dimension this pretty freely. I'm going to go ahead and put the 3 dimensions on here. Oh, we're going to switch this to 2 decimal places. If you haven't done that already, you should. 2 decimal places, and I'll put a dimension here, right here. I'll put that one on here, and I'll do another one right here, and this one I'm going to go ahead and click on this because I'm going to add space THRU so we know that goes through. Make sure your cap lock is on. Alright, so that goes through, so that's a hole going through it. So I don't need to dimension this one, I don't need to dimension that one, and so we're just going to have to worry about that one specific dimension right here for this part right there, and that should be 7. Alright, so we've got everything we need. If you wanted to take this one and move it over here to this view to give it something else, that actually is probably not a bad idea. It looks good, but if you did it already the other way, it's fine. So I'm going to delete that one. You don't have to. You can leave it if you want. Well, you have to get rid of one of them. You can either have it here or have it there, but this evens it up a little bit. So now we're talking about just adding our horizontal dimensions. So when we go in here, I'm going to click dimension, and I'm going to start right here on this corner and go to here, and I'll put in my 0.5. I'll go from here to there and put in my 0.75 right there. I'm going to go ahead and do one that goes from this corner to this corner right here. That's my 0.25. And then down here on the bottom, I'm going to go here and click this, drop this down, and I'll put a dimension that goes from here down this way, 0.5. Okay, and then we just got a couple of things we got to worry about. When we're looking at that, we're going to look at this right here, this diameter. We're going to put a diameter, this fillet in here. We'll put a fillet right here. Tell us how big that one is. We're actually going to do one up here on this corner right there too, to get that about right there. All right. So I'm pretty sure at this point, I'm just going to double check. I want to make sure that everything that's on there is on here. So I'm going to double check real quick, and it does look like that's it. So at this point, we can go down here, and we'll just double click here, backspace that, and just call it. We'll just go ahead and call it what it is. To view drawing. That's what the title of this one is, and the part number was 280-8-37. Right now, you could get really fancy, and I'll show you one other thing. Is a lot of times machinists like to see what a part looks like, and so this is just a courtesy. But you could click this right here and put this view up here to the right, and it'll show you what that part looks like. And there's another neat feature. You can do this because this isn't a necessary view. It's just a courtesy. You can go up here and click Show Hide and change it to a Show the Shaded view if you wanted to do that. And this, one of the neat things about that is it shows this edge, but see that how it shines like that? It shows you that there's a fillet in there that's easier to see this way. So that's options for you if you want. All right, we'll move on to the next one.